tutor Namonga, and today we'll continue with our 2020 science internal for grade 9s. Part 1 we did question 1 up to 5, so here we'll do question 6 up to 10. So question 6 is on the human body. So the human body for grade 9, you need to know the respiratory and the circulatory system, meaning you should be able to label parts of the chest as well as parts of the heart, the chambers, the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. So question 6, the diagram below shows the human respiratory system. Identify the parts labeled Q and T. So this is a 2020 internal paper. In case you can't see the diagram clearly, you can just check. So part Q here, this is the trachea, okay, and then part T, okay, the muscles that are found between the ribs, those are called intercostal muscles. B, in which labeled part does gaseous exchange take place? Okay, so if you check your diagram clearly, gaseous exchange takes place in R. Okay. C, what is the function of the part labeled S? Okay, S are the ribs. What is the function of the ribs? The ribs protect the lungs from injuries. Okay. D, state whether the shape and position of the part labeled U indicates inhalation or exhalation. So what is U? U is a diaphragm. Okay, so if the diaphragm has this shape, meaning what is taking place? Breathing out or exhalation. What respiratory disease is caused by cigarette smoking? So cigarette smoking causes quite a number of diseases, but here they just want one. So you have bronchitis, you also have emphysema, which is the brittleness of the bones. Your bones will become hard. Okay, next we'll look at question 7. Question 7 is on the environment. Okay, the diagram below shows a simple oxygen cycle. So there are cycles you need to know for grade 9 syllabus. You need to know the oxygen cycle, the carbon cycle, and the nitrogen cycle, especially the nitrogen cycle. Things like nitrification, denitrification, and nitrogen fixation. So you're supposed to know those. Remember 3 cycles: oxygen, carbon, and the nitrogen cycle. So this is on the oxygen cycle. Identify the process that occurs 1 in plants to produce gas 1. So what is gas 1? Gas 1 is oxygen. So what process in plants produces oxygen? That is photosynthesis. What process occurs in animals to produce gas 3? Okay, there, that is tissue respiration. Okay, gas 3 is carbon dioxide. Okay, if you follow the cycles, you'll be able to identify this. So write the word equation for the process that occurs in plants to produce gas 1. What is the word equation for photosynthesis? Okay, so let's just write it down. Okay, so we have carbon dioxide plus water will give you, so here what do you use? Light and chlorophyll. This will give you oxygen and glucose. So that is the word equation for photosynthesis. Let me just put it clearly there. Carbon dioxide plus water, and then in the presence of light and chlorophyll give you oxygen and glucose. Other books, instead of glucose they'll put starch. It's the same thing. Okay, so what is gas? Okay, we're here. Apart from the process in plants and animals, which other process uses oxygen? So for a car to move, for the fuel to burn in the car, you use oxygen, also combustion. Okay, what is gas 3? I've already mentioned gas 3 is carbon dioxide. Explain the importance of oxygen cycle in the atmosphere. So why is oxygen important? Oxygen is the oxygen cycle is important because animals and plants need it. Plants will need it for for respiration, and animals will need it for breathing in. Okay, let's move on to plants and animals, question 8. Okay, so the diagram shows the arrangement of the apparatus used to investigate whether carbon dioxide is given off by green plants. Okay, I think most people did this in their labs. I hope you did this in your schools. So what is the function of the potassium hydroxide in the experiment at stage 1? Okay, so the function of the potassium hydroxide is to remove carbon dioxide from the air that is entering this. Okay, so what other chemical reagent can be used in the place of potassium hydroxide? So if not potassium hydroxide, you can use lithium hydroxide. Okay, so in the experiment, what is the purpose of 1 clear lime water at stage 2? So the clear lime water at stage 2 is to ensure that any carbon dioxide that has escaped from here has been what? Removed. Okay, then the black film inside the bell jar here, it's preventing light from entering this jar. Okay, then the thin plastic bag around the pot here, it prevents the loss of water through evaporation. That is the function of the plastic bell jar. What change would be observed in the lime water at stage 4? Okay, so the lime water will turn to milky. So this question is easier to answer if you did the experiments. I hope I've helped you understand it. Then let's go to materials and energy again. So as I mentioned in the first part of this video, like materials and energy will carry more weight for section B, so ensure to go through as many past papers as you can. I hope you did this in your schools. So what is the function of the potassium hydroxide in the experiment at stage 1? Okay, so the function of the potassium hydroxide is to remove carbon dioxide from the air that is entering this. Okay, so what other chemical reagent can be used in the place of potassium hydroxide? So if not potassium hydroxide, you can use lithium hydroxide. Okay, so in the experiment, what is the purpose of 1 clear lime water at stage 2? So the clear lime water at stage 2 is to ensure that any carbon dioxide that has escaped from here has been what? Removed. Okay, then the black film inside the bell jar here, it's preventing light from entering this jar. Okay, then the thin plastic bag around the pot here, it prevents the loss of water through evaporation. That is the function of the plastic bell jar. What change would be observed in the lime water at stage 4? Okay, so the lime water will turn to milky. So this question is easier to answer if you did the experiments. I hope I've helped you understand it. Then let's go to materials and energy again. So as I mentioned in the first part of this video, like materials and energy will carry more weight for section B, so ensure to go through as many past papers as you can. So the way I write in 2024, you can start as far as 2014 up to the GC paper that was written this year, so that you're on the safe side. So the diagram below shows some instruments connected in the circuit diagram, as well as 3 cells with a voltage of 2 volts each. So 2 volts each. For the cells, how do you count a cell? A cell, one cell is counted as the short one and the longer one. Okay, so a long and short one will make one cell. So how many are there? 1, 2, and what? 3. Remember, each cell has 2 volts. Okay, so name instrument X. Instrument X is here. Instrument X is the ammeter. What is the difference in the way instrument X and W are connected? So there are 2 types of connections when it comes to circuit. You have the parallel connection and you have the parallel and the series connection. Okay, so parallel, it means they are connected in opposite. So for example, W and this are connected in what? Parallel. Then X and this, since they're in the same line, they are series. Yeah, they're in series connection. Okay, so I've answered that. X is in series, W is in parallel connection. What does instrument W measure? This measures voltage, or you can say it measures potential difference. Write a formula used to express the relationship between current, voltage, and resistance. Okay, current, voltage, and resistance. Sorry, just like that. Okay, so let's continue with question 9D. Write a formula used to express the relationship between current, voltage, and resistance. Okay, so the relationship is given by resistance is equal to voltage over current. That is the relationship. Okay, hope you saw that. Resistance, which is R, is equal to V over current. What would be the reading on the instrument W if the switch is closed? Remember, W measures the potential difference, which is the voltage. So there are 3 cells here, and each cell has 2 volts. So if each cell has 2 volts, meaning to know the reading here, you just multiply 2 by what? 3, and that will give you 6 volts. Okay. Mention one use of electricity in our homes. Okay, this is simple. What do we use electricity for? For lighting, the stove, heating water, and so on and so forth. Let's go to the last question of 2020 internal section B, which is on communication, still under materials and energy. Okay, materials and energy. So the diagram below illustrates transmission of radio signals. Okay, in what form do the radio signals travel from part 3 to 1? So from here to here, how do the radio signals travel? They travel by electromagnetic waves. Okay, then B. Okay, identify part G. Where is G? Part G is here. So part G is the microwave radio antenna. Okay, microwave radio antenna. What are the functions of the parts labeled Y and Z? Okay, so where is Y? Y is on the radio here. What is the function of this? The function of this is to receive radio signals. Okay, then the part Z, where is Z? Okay, Z is here. This receives, when it receives, again it will transmit. So it receives and transmits radio signals. And then the last question is, what will be the effect on the radio if the structure Z at the part 2 is removed? So if you remove this, what will happen? The receiving of the radio signals will have interference. I don't know if you've noticed, sometimes if you're listening to the radio, there are people listening to the radio. If you're listening to the radio and then there's something happening, there will be showers or there will be some noise like that. So meaning there has been interference here. Okay, thank you. Remember to comment, share, and follow my YouTube channel. Thank you.